Yo, YouTube, what is up? Welcome back to another video, a slightly different setup to my usual video. This is not going to be a vlog or a training footage or not even a full day of eating. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to run you through my current training split and everything I am doing to become a competitive bodybuilder. Before I get into it, go down there, click the like button, click subscribe, comment. If you're watching this, screenshot it, share it to your story. Honestly, it'd be really appreciated. I am really trying to get out there in terms of the YouTube, so honestly it would be massively appreciated and it would not go unnoticed. And if you don't, well, you can go fuck yourself. Can't say that on YouTube, sorry. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to run you through my current split. I'm going to share the screen with you now in a second and kind of what I'm doing, as I said, to become a competitive bodybuilder. I am still, I suppose, in the early stages of my bodybuilding career. What I would like to do, and kind of the plan me and both my coach Ross have put in place, is to continue in this gaining phase that I'm currently in, which I've been in for the last 6 months, all the way throughout 2023, with probably maybe one or two tidy ups thrown in there until we start a prep. All the way throughout 2022 until we start a prep, probably 2023, halfway or towards the start of 2023. I will be competing, not too sure what class as of yet. Like, ideally I would like to compete in classic or something, but being realistic, I'll probably have to compete in men's physique. It's just the way it is. For me, it's not really about competing. It's not really about stepping on stage in my board shorts or in my trunks and getting tan done. It's about the process leading up to it, okay? And it's about, the journey and all that cliche crack. But for me, it is, that's what I like. I enjoy the day-to-day shit. I enjoy the days leading up to it, being in the trenches, even though I've never been there before. But comparing that to my photo shoot prep, from what I have experienced, that's what I enjoyed. And it wasn't the actual, say, the photo shoot, or I don't expect it to be the actual competition. I expect it to be the weeks building up to it and the weeks leading out of it as well, and the post show, kind of how I'm going to handle that. But anyway, that's enough shit talking from me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the screen now in a second, and I'm going to run you through everything that I'm doing to become competitive as a bodybuilder. Now, one more thing before I do get into the training split, and something that I just wanted to say to you all quickly, is I have decided to go down the route of becoming an assisted athlete. That means I will be competing in untested federations going forward, okay? So that is just a decision that, I made for myself, and it's down to me to decide whether I want to do that or not. I just don't want to be hiding anything from anyone. It's a decision that I suppose I went away and I thought about for not only a couple of days, a couple of weeks, but months, okay? It was for 6 to 9 months before I actually made the decision. And even when I had my mind fully made up as well, I still prolonged it another 2-3 months in case I tried to back out of it. But no, it's the decision for me, and I'm happy with my decision going forward. Hopefully you can all respect that. And yeah, I'm going to show you now what I'm going to do in terms of training. On the screen now you will see my current training block and my current training phase. Obviously this is all my coach's work. This is Ross Burns' work from the Muscle Mentors. I'm not claiming any of this to be mine, but this is his, and this is the plan we've put together for myself, okay? So you'll see day 1, day 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to 7. So I'm training 5 days a week, 2 rest days. I actually start my rotation on a Tuesday just because it suits me best with check-ins and client work. So my day 1 is pushing arms, then I have legs and pull, which is a very taxing day for me. So after that I have a rest day, then I'm in for pushing delts, lower, adductors and upper, and a rest again. So you can see from that there is a big emphasis on my upper body, okay, and my upper portions, especially across the front. They are kind of, I suppose, the more men's physique based muscles, okay? With that being said, it's not really a case of me targeting muscles that I need to bring up. I need to grow absolutely everywhere. I need systemic growth across all muscle groups, and to be honest, you do too, unless you are 10 years training and competitive bodybuilder or something like that. But to be honest, even at that, you probably do as well. Too many people come to me, clients, and they say, look, I just need to really focus on my upper inner chest, bro. And you're like, no, you don't. You actually need to grow everywhere because you're still quite small, and I'm the same. I'm no better than you. So that is that. So day 1 is pushing arms, okay? You can see this is baseline volume, okay? So I ran this baseline volume for the first, I think, 6 weeks of my program. So I'm about week 7 now, or halfway through week 8 of my current training program, which is this. So we have a plate loaded incline chest press. For me, I don't have that available to myself in the gym, so I'm running with an incline dumbbell press, okay? 2 sets across most exercises, with a couple of straight sets in there on your kind of less taxing movements, I suppose. So like your machine pec deck fly, where you're really locked into position and there's not that many moving parts, and also your single arm preacher curl. You know, there's not too much that can go wrong there, okay? Lots of top sets and back off sets, as I suppose majority of you probably train like as well. I know that's my training style, and it's the low intensity high volume the low volume high intensity training style that lots of people do follow these days. Tempos then are there for everything, so we're spending different portions of the reps. So we're working the lengthen phase here in the low incline Smith machine desktop. Again, I don't have a Smith machine available to myself, so I have to do this with a barbell. It's just, I suppose, making do with what I have. But you can see here pushing arms, and that is something that I need to bring up across the whole upper chest, okay, or the whole upper proportion of my body. Then we're on to a leg / pull down. Now this is extremely taxing for me, okay. I'm absolutely battered after this day. We have our dumbbell thoracic extensions. That's something that I've actually shared on my Instagram a fair bit, and it's something that nobody really works. You know, you don't really work your thoracic extension or your spinal extension, do you? Thoracic extension, so let's say. So it is good, the lower lumbars of the spine, to get them working, get some stability in around there. And I find that doing this prior to my stiff leg deadlifts really helped me going forward, okay. Stiff leg deadlifts, my first time actually running deadlifts for a long period of time. I've never actually committed to them, so I'm starting to find my groove with them now recently, and I'm quite happy with that. Again, only 2 sets here, a 5 to 9 and an 8 to 12. Anything more and I would be absolutely bollocks. Then we're in with the seated hamstring curl. So again, we have 3 sets here in something that I'm really locked into position, and there's not much moving parts. There's not much that can go wrong. We have our D-handle pull down, then again, which is 3 sets, and everything else is 2 straight sets. So as you can imagine, you know, this is kind of more of a posterior day to a certain degree. Obviously, look, we have our pivot leg press there, which requires a fair bit of quad recruitment. But apart from that, it is a lot of posterior based work. And again, it's not just because I need to bring up my posterior. I need to bring up everywhere. But I suppose, as you know, maybe a potentially men's physique athlete down the line, not too sure, maybe I just don't need as much quad as, you know, someone else would. But that again is up for discussion. We're not too sure kind of what route we're going to take with that. Then we're on to the push and delt day. So this is, to be fair, is not as taxing as my first 2 days. So I have a rest day prior to this, and then I have 3 straight training days on the bounce, okay. So on my push and delt days, you can see I'm starting off with my line cable lateral raise. That's to get work the delt in its fully shortened range, okay. And from there, then I'm going on to a seated 65-degree shoulder barbell press, okay. Again, it's a case of, I suppose, two sets across majority of things, and then an additional set here on, say, or dumbbell lateral raise, which again, not too much can go wrong. I feel as though dumbbell lateral raises get a bad name. Everyone's always saying, oh, do your cable lateral raise for constant tension, and you know, there's certain merit to that as well. But I feel as though, you know, throwing in a standard double lateral raise after doing a cable lateral raise prior to work it in the lengthened range more than anything, and to really get everything out of it, I feel as though there is definitely a time and place for that. The D-handle cable press is definitely my favourite chest movement at the moment. Absolutely love that. It allows you to, I suppose, adduct the upper arm while pressing away at the same time. So obviously 2 functions of the pec is to bring the arm across the body and to press away. So with the seated cable press, you can kind of nearly get that perfectly together, driving them elbows across the midline of your body. I'll just get a really good connection with the two with them. Then we're on to our lower body day. So for me, again, this is an extremely taxing day, and in my opinion, and it's something that I actually have been programming with a lot of clients, is only doing 1 leg day a week. Just bringing it, just going to the fucking cleaners with it, okay. Obviously I have more leg volume in my pull and lower day, but this is my official lower body day, okay. So from here we have, again, this is all our baseline volume, okay. So we started off with a seated calf raise. I actually started off with adductors just because the adductor machine in this gym where I train my lower body is much better than the other gym where I train upper body, so I put calves here on this day. Much of muchness, to be honest. Starting off with the adductors, okay, everyone knows by now, I'd say, you know, adductors are such a vital part of overall leg growth. If you want to have thicker legs, bigger legs, and make your quads look bigger, train your adductors, okay. Leg extension, then working the quad in short range. Pendulum squat, so I moved my leg days from my home gym into Limerick just to have a run on the pendulum squat, to be honest, because I was using the V squat at home and it's quite shit, to be honest. So moving them into Limerick, and it's good as well to get a new gym and get some new environment in there and go somewhere where no one really knows yet. lying hamstring curl and 45-degree hip extension. And then this is a nasty one, so a 3-minute long set of walking dumbbell lunges. Again, then the prior day we're training yet again, so this is going to be the third training day in a row. So not going to be as taxing as my lower body day, or not going to be as taxing as my leg and pull day, or even my push day. Just going to be upper body day. Still, you know, bringing it there, still training to failure and all that kind of crack, but just not as much systemic fatigue across the workout, okay? So again, starting off with adductors, but it's actually calf raises for me on this day. We then have a cable crucifix lateral raise, so similar enough to the lying cable lateral raise, but we are actually trying to hit all 3 heads of the delta in this one. So we're looking for our front, our side and our rear, in comparison to our lateral when we're going out to the side. Your crucifix is kind of up right in front of you, the body. Really enjoying that at the moment. Then unilateral D-handle pull down, iso row, seated D-handle roller fly, and a cable radial fly. So that is my baseline volume, okay? That is what I ran for the first 6 weeks of this current split. Now I'm on to baseline plus. So what we're doing here is we were finding our MEV, so maximum effective volume, okay? So from there, what I'm going to do is minimum effective volume, should I say, sorry. Once we have our minimum effective volume found, we then run on to our baseline plus. Okay, so this is now our baseline plus. Okay, so this means we're taking all the volume that we did on our previous 6 weeks, and we're going to run that with more volume. So you can see here, this has been changed to me for the dumbbell press with the low incline. For me, I use a very low incline just for the angle of my rib cage and also my limb length. It's just going to be slightly different for me than it is for you. Again, that's why training is so individual, and why I'm lucky to have a coach who looks after that for me, and I look after that for my own clients as well. I'm not just giving you, you know, a certain workout or a certain exercise because it works for me. It has to be individual to each individual person, okay? Then again, we have the low incline barbell dead stop. So that's switched to a barbell here as well, as I said. But we've added an additional set here, okay? So we've added an additional set here rather than adding it here. Why would that be? Because we're in a much more stable environment here on the barbell dead stop in comparison to a low dumbbell incline press, okay? So I can add an additional set here. Doesn't have to take too much in terms of, I suppose, setup. It's already set up for me. And also, you know, my stability around my left shoulder joint is not the best whatsoever, okay? So if I was to add it in here, it could just lead to injuries down the line. Whereas with here, I'm in a much safer environment. Pec deck stays the same at 3 sets. We have added a set on a unilateral standing lateral raise. We've added a set here, and we've also added a set on our triceps, okay? So you can see we're just accruing more volume as the sessions go on, okay? Again, I'm in here on my leg and pull day, which is already an extremely taxing day for me. So we're not adding anything to this first set. We're not adding anything to this stiff leg deadlifts. I never would really, in my own opinion or coaching or programming, would go past 12 reps on deadlift. For me, I just find as though once you get past even 10, you know, form starts to slip, and maybe that's just me. Maybe that's my own thing, but I feel as though you can get much better out of a 5 to 12 rep range as you would from a 12 to 20. Then seated hamstring curls, so we've added in an additional set here, so I'm on 4 sets now of the seated hamstring curl, again because it's such a stable environment. It's so easy for me to stay locked into place, and it doesn't take much for me to get in another set. Then the pivot leg press, so rather than adding an extra set here, which is probably going to absolutely murder me because my rep or my session is already extremely taxing as is, we've added in a 15 to 20 rep range. So instead of going from 10 to 15, we've added 15 to 20, so we are actually still accumulating more volume through the set without actually adding additional sets, if that makes sense to you, okay? We then have a chest T-bar supported row, so again we have an additional set here, and we have an addition, or do we have an additional set on the dumbbell curl? I don't think so. Let me just confirm that. No, we don't. Okay, we always had 3 there. Then we have our rest day, and we're back in for push and delt. And again, it's kind of just, you know, rinse and repeat in terms of it's exercises that aren't going to cause too much systemic fatigue, aren't going to lead to any possible injuries, but we can add more volume in a safe environment. Because once you are, and it goes for anything got to do with coaching, once you are keeping it safe, keeping your client safe, and being able to progress them without causing any harm, then you're doing well, okay? So from there, we have added to our lateral raise, we've added to our chest press, and we've also added to our standing dumbbell and our hammer curl, I believe. And then lower body, so we've added to See, I train adductors there, okay? So we haven't added to adductors. We haven't added to the leg extension. I don't believe, have we? Possibly no, I'm sorry, I have to go back and have a look. No, so no leg extension. We haven't added the pendulum squat, but again, as you'll see here, what we've done is we've changed that back off from a 12 to 15 to a 15 to 20. So again, accumulating more volume within the set, okay? Lying hamstring curl stays the same. 45-degree hip extension stays the same, but on the knee down lunges, we're now 2 sets of 3 minutes. Trust me, these are fucking brutal. And then our final day, adductors and upper. And again, it's just a case of we've added to our crucifix, we've added to our unilateral D-handle, and we've added to our seated D-handle roller fly, and also added to our cable rear delt fly. We've added 2 sets to that. So you'll see here as well, you see with the roller fly, you're wondering what does roller mean? It just means have a foam roller in behind your back, which allows your scapula to, I suppose, get a bit more free moving around and kind of wrap itself around it when you're coming back in to get your chest kind of contracted. And yeah, that's pretty much everything I am doing, I suppose, in terms of training, and I will run you through nutrition now. So this is my current setup in terms of nutrition, okay? So start date for this current block in terms of this push-up was the 31st of May. We're now the 16th of December, okay? So a good 5-6 months ago now at this stage, even longer, 6 months, 7 months at this stage. Current starting weight was 167.2. I'm now sitting at 192, okay? So I'm up, what's that, 25 pounds, potentially. Not great at maths, okay, so don't quote me on that. Current food, it was only escalated last week, so we're now on 3950 calories on a training day with 180 protein, 70 fat and 65 carbohydrates. And then our rest day down below here is going to be 3540 should I say calories, 180 grams of protein and 480 grams of carbs and 100 grams of fat, okay? And that's pretty much that. So 2 rest days and 5 training days across the week. Once I then finish this current phase, I will be running on to a baseline plus where I'll be finding my MRV, which is maximum recoverable volume, and that will last for a week. It'll just be like an additional rest pause onto say the sets that have already accumulated some volume, and then I will be deloading. So guys, that is pretty much everything I am doing in an attempt to become a better bodybuilder. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and you liked the insight and also the honesty as well in terms of what I'm doing and kind of, you know, my decision to go down a certain path. So that's pretty much that. Look, I will be starting a YouTube series where I will be recording each and every workout, okay? So I'll be bringing you through every workout. I'll be doing a voiceover of all the exercises, explaining exactly what I'm thinking and how I'm feeling throughout the workout, breaking it down to give you a bit more information and give you as much value as I can for free. I'll also be doing full days of eating on the current food as well to show you kind of what goes into it like that. As always, guys, you know, please like, subscribe, all that YouTuber shit. If you've made it this far, I really do appreciate you. Namaste. Please share this, take a screenshot, put it on your story, tag your friends, your family, the whole lot. I'll see you in the next one.